All I'm seeing from reading this website for the very first time is that this sunscreen, spoiler alert, is a dual sunscreen that we all need. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about my favorite sunscreen of the summer 2025, the Shiseido Expert Sun Protector Lotion spf50+. I've been talking about this sunscreen in my last couple of videos, so here finally is this sunscreen's dedicated video. I'm going to have timestamps down below in case you just want to skip ahead to any particular section, but as always I'm going to talk about the background of the sunscreen, what I like, what I don't like, if I would recommend it, and if I would buy it again. So if you're looking for a new sunscreen, this video is for you. And yeah, before I keep you any longer, let's just jump right into it. On the Shiseido website, this has 4.5 stars and this has 99 reviews. This comes in 3 sizes. This comes in a 50ml, 150ml and a 300ml. From what I'm seeing, all 3 sizes are available on the Shiseido website, but a couple of other places have the 50ml and 100ml, so places like Cult Beauty. Speaking of which, you can get this from a whole bunch of different places. You can get this from Shiseido, of course. You can also get this from Cult Beauty, Boots, Look Fantastic, Sephora, Debenhams, allbeauty.com, Essential, TK Maxx, Space NK, John Lewis, even Tesco. That's crazy. You can get this from a whole bunch of places, which I will have linked down below in case you are interested. So yes, I'm on the website, and guys, truth be told, this is actually the very first time that I've looked at this sunscreen on the Shiseido website. When I was buying this last year, I briefly skim read the Cult Beauty product page. I didn't really look that much in detail. So we are discovering this sunscreen in detail together for the first time. Okay. So, Shiseido say, Shiseido's first invisible lightweight UV protective sunscreen lotion whose protection veil is strengthened by heat and water. It provides seamless protection against UVA and UVB. It helps maintain hydration and limits photoaging for a smooth and plump skin. This sunscreen protects the inner and outer layers of skin against UVA and UVB. Very interesting, because I literally didn't even know that was a thing. This is suitable for dry, oily, normal combination. This targets sun protection, fine lines, and uneven skin tone. That is very interesting. It's so funny reading this because thinking about my experience with the sunscreen, I'm seeing connections between the two because my face always feels so smooth whenever I use this. And I have noticed that my skin tone has evened in such an incredible and crazy way. So that's crazy that is one of like the cool things that this sunscreen touts. Shiseido also lists out a couple of extra benefits. So these include, this helps protect the skin against blue light oxidant damage with a hypotaurine, beautifies, smooths and plumps the skin with safflower extract, provides 4H hydration with algae complex, helps to smooth uncomfortable skin with seaweed complex combined with adip potassium clarisinite, and this acts against the damage of pollution with nature surge complex. Over a 2-week period, fine lines were reduced, skin tone looked more even, skin was smooth and plumped, complexion looked more radiant, and dark spots were visibly reduced. Wow. That is so crazy. All I'm seeing from reading this website for the very first time is that this sunscreen, spoiler alert, is a dual sunscreen that we all need, which is actually so crazy. And like I said in the beginning, going through this website and reading things for the first time, it's really solidifying every single one of my thoughts that I had about this sunscreen, and I love it. I'm actually blown away, and wow. So I first bought this sunscreen in 2024 when I was going to Bali on holiday. I've used this in extreme tropical heat in Bali, and I've also used this in extreme UK heat. This is my daily sunscreen. I'm also wearing it today, and I must say I've had such a great experience with the sunscreen. This sunscreen took me by surprise on many counts. So let's get on to some pros of the sunscreen. So the main pro that I have for the sunscreen is the smell. It has such a lovely, lightweight, tropical, warm scent to it, and I think when I'm finishing up my morning skincare routine, this is just the cherry on the top that just really brings my skincare routine all together. This is probably one of the best smelling sunscreens that I've used in such a long time, and it was the first thing that I noticed about this sunscreen. The next thing that I love about this sunscreen, I say this in all of my videos, it has a really interesting cream to powder formula. Now, reading through the description, I know that's not something that Shiseido have called out, but one thing that I've noticed about this, it's a watery, runny lotion consistency, but when you massage it on your face, the way it dries down is very lightweight and powdery. This is just my own observation. I think that because it's got that nice lightweight powdery kind of formula, it dries down quite matte. It's strange because that same powdery formula that I think mattes my forehead and keeps my forehead oils under control, it doesn't dry out the lower half of my face. In fact, it also moisturizes the lower half of my face. The consistency of it just is really complimentary. And again, that powdery finish really lends itself to smoothing your skin and making your skin really soft to touch, which I absolutely love. I love soft skin. I love products that make my skin feel nice and feel soft. And I think especially if I'm going to be wearing makeup on top of it also, I like knowing that I've got a nice smooth base, which this sunscreen definitely gives me. The next thing I absolutely love about this sunscreen is it leaves me with such a gorgeous natural glow. You guys know I love glowy skin. I want my skin to be glowing. I want to have a nice like shine on me, a nice little sheen, and I love that this sunscreen gives me that. It really does like brighten up my face. I think that could be because this is somewhat of a tinted sunscreen. Now again, on the website they didn't mention this being a tinted sunscreen, but when I squeeze this out of the tube, it comes out kind of creamy brown, which to me is a tinted sunscreen, especially if I compare it to other sunscreens that I have that come out white out of the tube. And I think just having that extra bit of like bronzy color to the actual lotion really helps to give a bit of glow and a bit of shine. And who doesn't want a bit of glow when it's sunny outside and you want to like enjoy the sun? My face is naturally quite dull and can sometimes come off kind of grey, so any product that will give me that natural glow that will just enhance the brown in my skin, I will take it. I fucking love it. I also put some on my chest and look at how like nice my chest looks. And it's grey outside. It is, the sky is so grey, but I'm looking so like glowy, and yeah, I'm wearing makeup, but I just feel like everything is really glowing. Everything looks really nice, and I love that about this sunscreen. Like, it's such a nice complimentary sunscreen. You know how sunscreens can just be so sunscreeny? This is one of the least sunscreeny sunscreens that I have ever tried. So if one thing that you don't like about sunscreens is they're thick, they're white, they're horrible, they leave you looking ghostly, they smell disgusting, this sunscreen is the complete opposite of that, because it smells amazing, it leaves you looking glowy, and you just feel absolutely amazing after applying it. Love. The next thing that I love about this sunscreen is just how easy it is to apply. So like I've mentioned, when you squeeze it out of the tube, it has a watery lotion-like consistency, so it's really runny. You're literally having to chase it to stop it from dripping everywhere. It rubs in really well. You're not stood there rubbing for ages and ages and ages, especially if you're a girl on the go. You just want something that's nice, quick and easy. This is the sunscreen for that. Another thing that I absolutely love about this sunscreen is I love that this is for face and body. When I was in Bali, it was such a godsend because I was able to use this all over, and this did a really great job of protecting me. I did not burn. My skin just felt and looked so good. It was really easy to reapply. So if you are looking for a sunscreen that will do double duty, this is a great sunscreen because you can use this all over. My only caveat for that is that you will go through a tiny 50ml bottle super fast if you are using it for your whole body, because it's quite small. But this is a really nice body sunscreen, and it just makes your whole body feel so nice, your body feels so smooth, you smell gorgeous, and it's just really nice. And then it also gives your whole body like a nice glow. I love this sunscreen so much. Chef's kiss. Now I have a bunch of other things that I love. I love that this doesn't peel. This is really easy to reapply. This leaves no white cast. It really works well with makeup. My makeup glides on, and I've also used this sunscreen with a bunch of different makeup products. I've used this with tinted moisturizer, I've used it with a foundation stick, I've used it with liquid foundation, I've used this with powder straight away, I've used this with blushes. It also works well with my other skincare products. Sometimes I even ditch the moisturizer. It's super hydrating, it works well with my serums. It's just such an all-round brilliant sunscreen, and I absolutely love it. I love it. And I love this sunscreen so much that when it came to compiling a list of dislikes, I really struggled with what to include in the list, because I genuinely couldn't think of one thing that I disliked about this sunscreen. So I really had to kind of take a step outside of myself and just think, what are some things that I would just say, oh, I don't dislike the sunscreen, but FYI, here are some things that you should be aware of, or just like extra things that you should know. And I came up with a paltry 2 things. So the first dislike, this isn't even a dislike, but more of like a thing to be aware of. And this isn't even related to the sunscreen itself. It's more related to the bottle and the design of the bottle, which by the way, I do love the design of this bottle, and I do love how it's small enough that you can just like chuck this into your bag and you can carry it around with you and use it on the go. But sometimes I find it can be a bit tricky to squeeze out of the tube. You probably have to squeeze, and also the plastic is quite thick. But that said, it's not really that hard to get out. And then the last thing that I think is worth noting about the sunscreen is this thing dries down so fast. For such a runny, lotiony consistency product, you wouldn't expect it to dry down as quickly as it does, but this thing dries down so fast that you have to apply this a lot quicker than you would other sunscreens. Now, the part that everyone has been waiting for, the question that everyone is dying to know, well, the 2 questions that everyone is dying to know: would I buy it again? Do I recommend it? I don't know if you've been paying attention to any of this video, but if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love this sunscreen. I have already bought this sunscreen twice. This bottle here is my 2nd bottle, and I will for sure be buying a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. This sunscreen is amazing, and last year when I first tried this, I instantly knew that this was going into my top 5 favorite sunscreens of all time. Now, this isn't something that I've talked about so much, but I have been noticing for the last couple of weeks that my skin has been looking so much clearer. My dark spots, my hyperpigmentation has been clearing up. And literally up until like 31 minutes ago when I started filming this video, I just assumed that the reduction in my dark spots, my discoloration, my hyperpigmentation, I thought all of that was down to my serums and stuff that I've been using. But now I'm like, I actually think it's down to this, because I've been using this sunscreen this time around for a shorter period of time than I've been using those skincare products. So that's leading me to believe that it's been this sunscreen actually that has been doing the heavy lifting of helping my skin. So yeah, so do I recommend this? Hell freaking yes, I do. Love the sunscreen down. It is just, I've not felt this way about sunscreen in so long. So guys, that is all from me in today's video. If you have tried the Shiseido sunscreen, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with my assessment? What do you think? Like I said, I'm going to have this sunscreen linked down below to all of the places where you can get this from. So make sure you check out my description box in case you want any more information on where you can buy anything. If you have any questions or you just want to come and say hi, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, in the meantime, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye guys. Mwah.